Tuesday welcome. Day off yesterday because originally I was going to be working for a new customer this week. And that was only going to be 4 days because that's just what they needed. But a few weeks ago they took on a full-time driver, so my services weren't required. But luckily Normans, who I've done a bit for, had already asked me about doing the same week. So I just phoned them up and said, have you covered it? No, we haven't. Well, you now have, but I decided to stick with the Monday off anyway. I had an MOT on a bike and I went diving because it's summertime and because I can. Sometimes there's more life than working, isn't there? Gotta enjoy it. So yeah, hit the road this morning. Oh dear. I just tipped at St Albans. Just outside St Albans anyway. And I'm now on my way to Frome in Somerset. So there wasn't an actual time on St Albans, but I need to be in Frome by 1 o'clock. So which is doable. It's now just gone 8:15. I should be in Frome by about 11, half 11, something like that. So doing this week, and then that's it. Having August off, or the rest of August I should say, 3 weeks. We were going to go on a road trip up to Scotland and do like the North Coast 500 and some other bits and pieces, but some friends of ours who we work with at Trans Am have just been up on their motorbikes and have pretty much got drenched almost every day, and that's kind of put the kibosh on that a little bit. So and we're just a bit unsure about accommodation and what's going to happen at these times, so we're just going to play it safe this time, and we're just going to do day trips out and see friends and family and things like that closer to home. What am I possibly going to crash into? Truck? You tell me. Nothing. So anyway, yeah, so yeah, have a summer at home, and then back to something in September. Don't know what, but the end of September, I think the 23rd is when Sugar Beet will start again. So now we've always got that on the back burner. But I know a friend of mine on Normans wants 2 weeks off in September, so I'm hoping that's 2 weeks work I've got there. Yeah, we'll just have to see what it brings. I keep getting a bit paranoid about bridges now with these high trailers. But it's not marked and I've been under it already, so we'll know it'll go under. there. Where the reload will be. Whether we run the Bristol for pallets maybe, or could well be. Could be empty back, doubt it. Maybe 8. Oh, I just don't know. So just over 5 hours driving now, so by the time I've tipped it's going to be sort of lunchtime, so 12. So as long as it's not too far away, should be able to get loaded and parked up at a sensible time, I reckon. I hope it's not going to rain because I have not bought my coat. By I have not bought it, I mean I forgot it completely. So, it's just... Here we are. One load of pallets to come off. Nice and easy, nice and light. And then I'm reloading in street, so it's not too far away, about 30 miles, something like that. So maybe an hour to get there. That'll do. So yeah, reloading street, or near street anyway. This is Wales in Somerset. I've just been on the phone. It's a shame because coming through Shepton Mallet and then working your way out towards here is lovely sort of little bit of... It'd be lovely on a bike or a car, not ideal in a truck, but still really nice to see. It's quite narrow and windy. Nice big road, look. 4k down here. Gotta go apparently. Let me reload. No, it was the tractor that's been holding me up. Was further ahead on this road as well. Never mind. Done just over 6 hours. I think from here, probably easiest just to zip across the M5. You go M5, M4 back, I reckon, and just go to Chippenham truck stop and park up there, call it a night. By the time I got loaded, it's now I'm going to be there about sort of 1:15. So I'll leave there at 2. So once you get past Chippenham, it's only sort of motorway services to stop in. I don't particularly want to stop at them. Over there, I guess, up on the hill. Nothing wrong here. Mind you, they've got to deal with that tractor first. Find someone. Well, good morning, world. So after loading yesterday, I was making my merry way back up north as such from Somerset. I had a phone call saying, I presume you're obviously loaded now, but they want the Yarmouth done first, which naturally is the opposite way around to how I'd loaded it, because it's going to end up in Yarmouth, because the forklift driver needs to get away. Well, he's actually got a funeral to go to, so well, not a problem. So I've headed to Yarmouth first, got here at 7, and so we've got all this stuff off the front and just shuffled the Norwich stuff forward. So now heading back to Norwich to go and tip, but it doesn't really matter too much because I've got to reload Norwich for Fakenham, I believe, unless it's changed. So almost works out better, I guess, because actually where I'm tipping in Norwich is just around the corner from the reload. So it would have been handy to have known it in the first place, but there we go. It's the only problem I had was the address. I had no road name, it said the industrial estate, and it said Muller's, but without the little umwelts over the U. So I thought, well, I know Halfreys quite well after work for MDF. I thought, well, I don't know anywhere with a garden supply centre or anything like that. So I sort of drove up and around, and I asked in the snack van, and nobody seemed to have a clue. And then I found another place, and he managed to Google it and find that it was like the Dairy Crest place as such. It struck me as a bit odd. So I went in there and said, you know, and he looked at me and went, you got 9 pallets? I was like, yeah, do you stand cows in compost now or something? I said, no, we deliver all sorts. So I said, yeah, it would have been helpful if it had been marked as Muller, you know. He said, yeah, it's still Dairy Crest, even though it's not been Dairy Crest for 3, I think he said 3 years, but it might have been longer. So anyway, we got there in the end, and at least I know where I'm looking for now in Norwich. So yeah, I've managed to beat the Acle straight rush, because no doubt when I get up over the bridge and turn left there'll be a big old queue, because it's 8 o'clock getting across to Yarmouth. So yeah, it's now just gone 8 o'clock, so I should be in Norwich for about 9. There's 13 pallets to come off there. I've done almost 3 hours driving now already. From Street, it's like, and the sat nav said to go straight to Birmingham and around that way. So right, well, I'll do that, because I can get a Welford calf, and I got there at 9 hours 40, 45, something like that. So good long day yesterday. We got me to Welford, so I had my time off. You know, I had a meal, straight to bed because I was knackered, and away we went again. Back to normal. Rubberneckers galore. So it's now Thursday. What did I do yesterday? Tip Norwich. reloaded and went just to faking them, and then came straight back and reloaded Winsford for today. So I was done and finished by 4 o'clock. Went home. So I started again early this morning. It was all going rather swimmingly until this. So I got to be in Winsford for 11. It's now just about 8 o'clock. So I'm only about an hour and a half up to Winsford, something like that. But I've got to stop and have a big break. So it'll be a little bit early, which is a nice way to be. Yeah, I am denying about stopping at Corley's. Like now, I'll try and get through Birmingham before it gets too busy, which clearly hasn't worked. Well, not quite, anyway. So yeah, just up to Winsford, and then no idea what I'll be after. That'll be a night out tonight when I get back. Even if it's straight back empty, which I'd be quite surprised on a Thursday. Should have thought they'd have something for me. But what and where, I don't know. It was looking like rain earlier until about an hour ago. In Winsford, now up to Liverpool to reload for Stowmarket for tomorrow. So it's nice and civilised. I think it'll be more like topsoil or something like that, because I think it's like a garden. I'm sure it's a garden centre I'm going to in Stow. So that'll do to end the week and the month. Yeah. Whew. Can't do any more. Well, I might be able to do some filming with the GoPro outside, but my little point and shoot bit the dust yesterday, unfortunately. So I'm down to one camera. So I've been talking to a dive friend of mine who from the touring world, who's an amazing photographer, and he works in video and all this, that, and the other, and he's recommended an Olympus point and shoot, which is actually a lot cheaper than the Canon. So just looking at going to get one of them instead. I've always sort of stuck with Canon generally. So but from like some of the images you seem to be able to take with this thing, it's pretty phenomenal. And if he really rates them and says they're really good and really wants one, there must be something in it. And he's a man who normally uses like a big SLR camera, and he reckons they're just as good, you know, for a fraction of the price, can do just as much. So that's pretty much sold it to me. So I reckon I get loaded, and then if I can get back as far as sort of Bury St Edmunds, should be doable just about, I reckon. Go and park at Cooper's Cabin if it's open, which I think it is. So I'll give him a ring and check. If not, I'll just go to Welford perhaps and park there, and I won't be doing much tomorrow on Friday. This isn't the sort of company that you do, which is great. So, see how it pans out. So we're looking for White Moss Horticulture. I think this is it. Not really too sure. Don't wonder and ask. Right, 2 o'clock. So being back on bulk. Bloody flies everywhere. think I'm going to go to Welford and call it a night there, because it's about 3 hours to Welford from here, which will put me just about on my 9 hours. Because beyond there's not really many places to stop. So I think that'll do for the day, and then just roll in the Stowe in the morning and get this tipped nice and early, hopefully. So I've just been trying to get past this for a while, but with the adaptive cruise control and a full load, it's just, as soon as anything's get remotely near anything, it just really slowed me down and I can't get going again. I've always liked Lely's fleet. That'd be pretty interesting work. Well, here we are, Stowe Market, 8 o'clock Friday morning. Making the best of what cameras I've got, basically. So here we are, full load now coming off, done the back bit, just doing all the sides now. So yeah, 2 minutes past 8, so nice and early, and then see what the reload is. Lovely job. So after Stowe Market, I just ran back up to Great Ellingham, Kerry Foods, where I went the other week. Picked up another load of pallets to come back to Ringsfield. Ooh, you swine. So I'm now coming back in through Beccles. I thought I'd go this way because I thought it'd be quicker. Maybe not with this happening. So they've built a new bypass, or part of a bypass around Beccles. It's a little bit longer, but it's so much easier going through town. So that's exactly what I've done. Because your other option is to go down to Bungay and then come back across that way, which is just a bit of a longer way round, I think, of doing it really. Basically over to the left where I've got to go. This is Beccles Cemetery on the left that you can't see behind all the trees. And here's the local pub, the Butcher's Arms. Should be in there tonight. Landlord's an absolute gentleman, real community spirited man. So it's now what, 20 past 11, so hopefully being there for about 5 o'clock with any luck. So shut at 8 o'clock at the moment, so time is limited. Stay where you were, mate, but well, they can't yet. So I time-lapsed it the other week, coming in from the other way, past my sister's house. She was sat on the wall waving. I don't know if this actually comes out on the time-lapse. I haven't got around to editing that week's video yet. Well, I did flash my lights for you, mate, but you're clearly not paying any attention. It's an absolute scorcher today. It's 30 degrees already. That's definitely pub beer garden weather, isn't it? Without a doubt. Nice jar of real ale. Getting a thirst on already.